Skylar, you know the deal. What is it tonight?
Episode 35.
I'm sorry, did you say 35? That's completely wrong.
I said.
Do you want to start again? Take two? Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. So, Skylar, you know the deal. What episode are we on?
Episode 35.
Are you serious right now?
Or
or
53.
53. Okay. We might be doing this a little bit too many times now.
Our poor child, what have we done to her? What have we done to Skylar Faith? She's lost her mind. She was, to be fair, having a giggling fit right before we went live tonight. Too many goldfish, too many days in quarantine. Hi, welcome to episode 53 of Randy's Live. It's nice to see everybody. You knew, because you were here for our big 50th celebration. You were here for 51, you were here for 52, and you somehow thought that we went back in time. Oh, help us. Help us if we are now going back in time, unless we go way back in time. How are you tonight? Thanks for checking in with us. So you know the deal. And for many of you that might be checking in for the first time, here's the deal. When this whole stay-at-home social isolation thing happened, I said to my lovely husband, that's our cameraman, Andrew McGinnis, I said, how about we try to go live and share some community with our friends? And so we thought that would be a fun idea. And I said, we'll do it every night. And we thought maybe this would go like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it's gone a little bit longer. And so this is our chance to reach out to our friends every evening, to touch base with people, to say how you doing, find out what they're working on, find out what they're up to, make sure everyone's okay, build community, have a little fun, have a little love, send virtual hugs. We've got my audience of one, that's kind of beginning. This might be a bad time to
I know. I heard a hiccup or two.
No, I heard like 17 hiccups, and she doesn't know what day it is. Anyway, we've been at it for a while now, so please excuse us if we're going a little loopy, because we are. Let's see who's on tonight. Marsha's on with us, Donna's on, hi Sabrina, and Sandra's on, hello. So we've got Jersey in the house, we've got, oh my goodness, we've got all over. We have America. America is watching. Let's talk about what we did today. You just might want to hold your breath.
I know, hold your breath.
Just might need to send you out. First time ever she's not been in the room. 53 days she's been doing this. We're losing our minds today. You did some school. You did some math. You had a science class with Aunt Shauna, right? What did you do? You did something weird and fun in the garden with butterflies. What did you do? You can't
I'm sorry, what?
Hold your breath. Surely. What? It's live. What did you do in the garden with Aunt Shauna, virtually, through the iPad? Something with butterflies?
Yes.
Okay, we'll come back. You know
We're
what?
gonna-
This
yeah,
segment of what do we do with Skylar Faith, we're going to come back to when she stops having the hiccups. But she had science class. We told you that when this started, we weren't homeschooling. Skylar was going to public school, and when this started, it was like, whoa, now you're schooling her. And she's a really super swell and easy student. But we decided that it would be fun to call our aunties and uncles and godparents all over the country and ask them if they would check in virtually with Skylar Faith and friends in the afternoon to see what she was up to. And so they did, and now she has science classes from award-winning scientists, and she's got acting classes from Broadway actors, and she's got reading, and she's got math with Seth, and she's got art and more art and fun and magic and cooking and making pancakes and a whole lot of stuff. So it's been great for us because she's getting a really diverse and eclectic education, and it's been pretty fantastic. And that's what we did today.
Too.
And makeup is on, yes. Okay.
That's not really
Maybe let's concentrate
Hold on.
on holding our breath and maybe just...
Listen, I know we did that one episode where you had the camera on you all the time.
I love you, girl, baby. I love you. You're doing so good. I know this is nuts. It was 10 seconds, and you're still here. All right, so fun stuff today. Let's start with talking about what we did last night after Randy's Live. It is Tuesday. Let's talk about what we did last night after Randy's Live. I had a really fun time doing an online virtual concert, which was so great. I got to perform some songs. I got to do stories behind the songs, which, is something that I love. I love to chat about how the genesis of a song or how it sort of came to be. And I did this through a really cool organization called the Underground Music Collective. And very, very lucky for us, we have its founder and the person behind this fantastic concert that I did here with us tonight as our first guest. A really interesting story about how we met. I was doing a writer's round here, like a contest, where a bunch of songwriters sort of showcase. and I had advanced to the next round, and luckily won the round. But what was so cool about it was that through that, I think I mentioned this the other night, I met these incredible people, these musicians, these producers, these lovely bands, lovely writers, just a real family of people that I connected with. And so I'll tell you a little bit more about that story and how it led us to doing an online concert together and how he's our guest tonight. So if he's here, let's check in with my friend Gerard and say hi to all the people. Hey, how are you, friend?
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Nah, everyone is doing fine. I'll let you know that we have a lot of people watching, including Jersey. Jersey is in the house, so we can do a shout out. Woo-hoo!
Yep. My home state, Morris County, born and raised. So my name's Gerard, by the way. I'm the founder of Underground Music Collective, as Randy said, and I'm happy to be here. Good to see y'all.
Did you hear that, Aunt Sandra? Did you hear that? Morris County. That's okay. We'll talk about Jersey in a minute. We'll get to Jersey in a minute. But I was just telling them how I met you and how after the Top Writer Series contest, we were supposed to get together and do like an article, talk about music, do sort of a feature, and then sort of the world shut down. So now we found a way to sort of connect virtually, which is really cool. Tell us a little bit about what you do and what you were doing before the world sort of stopped. Tell us about that.
Okay, so thanks. Underground Music Collective is a publication, an online publication first and foremost. We do reviews, we do features, we put together a Spotify playlist every week called UMC20. New version just came out today. I update that every single week. A podcast, which was actually our origin story, and it became a piece of content from here. I was running a regional version of this up in eastern Pennsylvania in a city called Bethlehem, about an hour from Philadelphia, until late 2018. Then made the move here to Nashville, where I live now, because I wanted to go where the industry was, and I wanted to be able to learn from people right in the heart of it. So that's what we're doing here. Also, we put on events before the quarantine and before COVID-19 kind of took over everyone's life. We were doing a monthly writers round at Douglas Corner Cafe right down on South 8th Avenue. We've since moved our events online in the meantime, so we're doing several what we're calling quarantine jams a week, which is where Randy was featured last night. Some of you may have seen that. We're doing our virtual Underground Writers Round this Friday to make up for the monthly one we can't do in person, and that's going to take place on our Facebook page at Underground Music Collective Friday, 5 p.m. Central, so that's 6 Eastern if you're on the East Coast. So we're a one-stop shop. Also, there's a services component to what we do, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the Keep the Music Playing campaign that we've launched in light of recent events and how they're affecting everybody here in our community. So that's the very long elevator pitch.
It's great. You're doing so much. And so one of the great things about checking in with my friends and the artists and guests that I've had on for 53 episodes is finding out how creative people have become. When this first happened, people were just sort of like, okay, kind of shocked, like, what do you mean, no gigs? Like, no gigs. And then really quickly, I have to say, a lot of people just scrambled and came up with really clever and creative ways to sort of make things happen. And I noticed that with you, pretty quickly, that you were, you already had this online presence, but you were using that to really kind of like boost the community, boost the artists. I have to tell you, it was actually really joyful for me. We've been doing this every night, but I usually only do I do one song a night, and then my guest performs one song. But it was really fun last night to actually do a show. I mean, it felt like a real show. And so I know that it's really good for the artists. It's really wonderful for us to have that platform. So now tell me about this Keep the Music Going campaign. I'm not sure if I have the words right, but tell us what you're doing with that, because that was another reason, we try to highlight charities and nonprofits and people doing good, and I love what you're doing. Tell us about that.
So with, just to backtrack a little bit, with, COVID-19 kind of taking over so quickly, a lot of things got shut down. Music venues got shut down. A lot of the musicians who lost gig money also lost money from their service industry jobs.
Yes.
Too. Of course, you have the venues impacted by this revenue, who in Nashville in particular were just shut down by the tornado. And if they made it out of the tornado, okay, we're maybe open for a week at the most before the shutdowns went into place because of the stay-at-home order. So it first started, we had this online presence because we're an online publication, right? So it just became, well, online is all we can do. All the in-person stuff's out of the equation. I can't go to shows. I can't host shows. What can I do? So we started hosting the online streaming events, worked some bugs out with those. We were doing them on Instagram at first, and then I just figured, you know what, I'm going to invest in some technology and make this a little better, you know, every step of the way. So we do them on Facebook Live now. I'm actually waiting as we speak for UPS to deliver my new laptop, which still hasn't gotten here, so
Soon.
streams are higher res going forward. But to keep the music playing, it was an idea that I hatched a few weeks ago. I was just kind of like, all right, there needs to be a little bit more. There needs to be like a help the community element to this whole thing that we're doing. And I was just thinking, you know, okay, I was thinking of some kind of slogan and keep the music playing just popped in my head and ended up going, as you'll see, on a t-shirt now. And
Love it.
decided at work tonight. These just got here yesterday, actually. We had a few people pre-order them, but on the t-shirt is we're donating pretty much all the profits of these to local music venues. I'm just picking a venue every week, and whatever comes in, pretty much anything made on top of the cost to make the shirts goes to a venue. We've already hit the East Room. I've already personally donated over to the 5 spot. We already hit the Bowery Vault. I'm going to pick a new one next week as well. And through May 31st, you go to our online shop at undergroundmusiccollection.com. Anything you buy there, any purchase you make, all of the profit's going to go to a music venue in Nashville.
Oh, I love that. Well, I'm for sure getting a t-shirt. The first couple of weeks we were on, I was just sporting t-shirts from like local places and you know, charities I wanted to highlight. So I'm totally ready to grab one of those t-shirts. And it's important too because people, I love what you said because I think of it, but I don't know that I mention it, that a lot of musicians also work service industry jobs. And service industry jobs lend themselves to being an artist. You know, the hours can be flexible. A lot of times it's one and the same. So people will bartend at a place that they'll then hop up on stage and do a gig at or doing a writer's round. So this has kind of been a double whammy for Nashville. So I love that you're doing that. And I love all the places that you mentioned. And I mean, there's a million. So you're going to be handing out money for a while.
Yeah. And, you know, even more so than that, you know, we want to invite people, not only artists, onto our channels, but venue managers, industry professionals. We want to invite them onto these live streams to talk to them, see how, you know, this is all affecting them, how the community can help, how we can help, and give them a platform more than what they already have through their own channels.
Right.
You know, the whole philosophy behind Underground Music Collective is we are so much better as a community than any one of us is individually. So if we're sharing platforms and we're sharing information and resources, the further it's all going to go, right? So we invite musicians on to play on one of the quarantine jams and one of the rounds. We've done a couple Facebook takeovers even. I'm just announcing this now. We have another takeover coming up with the Cold Dogs and the Real on Friday, May 22nd, 7 p.m. Central, which is going to be really exciting. All the artists, we're setting up, you know, ways to check out the artists, virtual tip jars if they have one. You know, we're just sending people, you know, to the artists to go be able to support them afterwards as well. And same thing with venue managers. Anybody in the industry wants to come on, reach out to us. Any of our channels, you'll get me because I'm the one who oversees all the inboxes. And let's set something up. Let's have you on. Let's talk about the challenges you're going through and how we can help give you a platform.
I love that. We are better together than we are individually. It's no wonder that we clicked and are friends now because I love that message. It's very cool. Well, thank you for what you're doing. Thanks for focusing on the musicians, for taking this one step further and allowing musicians a platform and being kind about the venues who were hit with the tornado and now this. You know, I appreciate you just going for it and doing it. And so I told you if I had you on tonight, we had to talk a little Jersey. So tell me something. We always do these questions with people, so tell me a little something that you miss from Jersey, because I know my family that's watching would love to hear. What do you miss from Jersey?
Okay, I think of two things off the top of my head. Pizza, although we do have 5 points pizza here in town, and that's really good. But Jersey pizza almost can't be beat, you know, maybe New York. So that's number one. Number two, I've never lived so far from a beach in my life.
Oh,
so
right.
that's another thing where I'm like, you know, that's the only drawback to Nashville. It's 7 hours.
It's true. We go to the lake as much as we can, but it's not the Jersey Shore, people. No, it's not. Well, awesome. I'm really glad I got to meet you. I'm happy that we were able to connect virtually. You know, I mean, this was not what we planned. We had big plans to do coffee and do shows and do, you know, interesting stuff. We'll do that again when this all ends. But I'm happy to know you, and I'm really happy that you have been able to carry through in this new time. Just keep doing it. Please go on in the comments and put a link to where we can get those amazing t-shirts, because I'm definitely going to get one. I want to support the local venues. And let us know, tell us real fast before we let you go, where are you doing when's your next quarantine jam? Is there something tomorrow? Where can we find that? Oh, there you go.
The next, actually tomorrow night, we're actually doing a special Writers Round with our friends at the Writers Room out in Los Angeles, which is really exciting. They usually curate this every week at a venue, at a bar in North Hollywood. Obviously, that's not an option to do it out in public, so what we're doing is we're working together on this, and we're combining forces, and we have writers from coast to coast. That's going to be beginning at 10 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night, because it's run out of Pacific time, so 9 Central, 7 p.m. Pacific, and that's going to be right on our Facebook page. We have some great songwriters, and then we have on Friday night, we have our Underground Writers Round that we do every month, usually at Douglas Corner here in town. We have 4 great songwriters from all over the country. My friend Billy Bauer, who's a tremendous songwriter, Brianna Musco from New Jersey, another Jersey native, and then we have Van Isaacson and Leah Jean, who are from Chicago, but actually just moved to town not too long ago. So very excited about that. We have so much coming up. Underground Music Collective, you can find us. If you see the big UMC in white letters, that's us, and you'll be able to find out everything we have going on.
Cool, and we'll post all that information below, all of the links, so you can go and follow, and get a cool t-shirt. Thanks so much. It was great having you on, and we will see you and give big hugs when this is all over, okay? Okay, great. Have a good night.
All right, looking forward to it. Take care. Stay healthy, everyone.
Yeah, bye.
Take care.
That's my friend Gerard doing great things. So we talked about this last night a little bit on his show when I did this concert, that it was just, we literally were picking dates to try to get together to plan for a little blurb he was going to do about me on his website, a little like artist showcase thing, and expose, I don't know, is that what we call it? But it didn't happen, and then I noticed that he was trying to, everyone is just trying. Everyone is just trying to do things, doing the best that they can. And if you don't feel motivated to do something, if you just want to stay in your pajamas all day and watch Jurassic Park, kind of like I did most of Mother's Day, then do that. We're on like a huge Jurassic Park kick here. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's happening. We went back to one because you have to. A Jurassic Park night. Yes, we will. I don't know, so many theme nights. But we watched 1, and then I got all into it, and then I was like, we gotta watch 4, because 4, oh, it's so good, and then you gotta watch 5, now I'm going back, we're gonna watch 2 and 3, I don't know, Jurassic Park all the way. So that's my friend Gerard. Let's see who else is on right now. Scott is on, hey, Rochelle's on, hey, Louisa. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick song for you before our next guest. And, this is a song that I have been performing since the play, and used to doing it with Drum Sugar, of course. He does really nice parts. On this CD, it's got some really, really cool people playing and doing some cool stuff on it, so I'm going to kind of channel it back to my old solo days tonight. Here we go. I'm sorry, my dear, but it's time. The space that I made is too wide, and I see you've grown tired of pulling So I'll try not to cry, but I know how this one ends. I deny my heart cannot pretend. So I'll try not to wake you as my lies rolls through the door. What a beautiful disaster we were.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
You'll be but a goodie. Lauren Schultz bought me the cutest t-shirt. This is Beautiful Disaster. And my Beautiful Disaster was before Kelly Clarkson's Beautiful Disaster. And my Breathe was before, oh gosh, I have a lot of befores. Maybe I shouldn't. Anyway. Hi, you good? Hiccup's gone? Okay. I think she's all better.
Good.
All better. Other than the tiny little bump right on her face. Okay, our next guest is a dear friend. Skylar was asking me who guest number 2 was, and I was all, oh, you don't know her, because I like to trick Skylar. Skylar likes to tell, but then you think that you figured it out. I think maybe, hi Mary, thanks for being on with us. Thank you. It's fun to engage with the people on the Facebook, but Andrew has all the people coming live. Do you see most everybody coming live?
I just saw Mary
Am I
Lou
behind?
Smith.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm caught up.
And
So
Francisco just came on.
Oh yeah, people that are on. Danny's on, I think. Thank you. Anyway, so our next guest
Here's the problem.
is what happened.
No, I'm gonna call her because I
You
just
are?
realized
Really? What if she's the one that
she just called. It shuts our face because I'm shooting off our phone.
Told you
Yep.
you should use
Yep.
my phone.
Hi. There she is. She's behind you. She's behind you.
Hello. There she is. Hi, beautiful. How are you? Oh, okay. Wait.
Good, how are you?
Good.
We're-
Okay, hold on.
we're gonna get
Gotta
caught
give it a
up.
second.
It's gonna
Getting
get caught up.
It's gonna get caught up. Hold on. It's just taking a
Oh.
second. Taking a second. Yo, you're caught up over here. Maybe we should get her from right here because she's more caught up here.
Well,
There we go. She better?
she's better from here. Yes.
Hi. So this is Becky Cherlin Baird. Okay, so Skylar was adorable because she very much wanted to know if she knew the guest that was coming on. And I was like, well, we have to wait and see if we know or not. And then she heard us say Becky, and then she was like, oh, you know another Becky? And I was like, I do know a couple Beckys, but this is our friend Becky. So let me introduce you properly, because we were getting all of our very high-tech things together here. This is Becky Cherlin Baird, who I know from many years of being a theater educator in San Diego, where I used to live. But she's done so much more than that. Her story is really incredible. You may recognize the blue curtain behind Miss Becky, because she has 2 incredibly talented children, Noah and Talia, and they've appeared twice on our show, doing the kids show and the Mother's Day. Yep. And so she's a dear friend of mine and someone I wanted to have on because she's another person like our first guest who's really making the most of this time, trying to pay it forward, trying to do creative things, and not letting the fact that the world has stopped stop you, really. So tell them, I always like to start with, tell them what you were doing before this happened, because I like people to get an idea of the before COVID-19 Becky and the now COVID-19 Becky.
So before, I was working on 3 different musicals, directing children's theater, Tom Sawyer, Mary Poppins, and actually the San Diego Opera.
Ooh.
And those were all about to open, and then kabam.
Right.
And I also teach private musical theater coaching. So this happened, unfortunately, and 2 of the shows were canceled. One is still in the maybe it will start in the fall. It's a private school in San Diego. And we're doing bits and pieces to sort of keep the kids connected since school is still happening.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was my before.
Yes. Not to mention working on some television shows in New York when you were able to go there.
I was working on Chopped Jr. for Food Network. A lot of people in a small space, the olden days.
Yeah. Becky would, funny enough, Becky would travel to New York like I did to work. And so I know that this, has hit so many people in so many different ways. And I like to say this every night. I haven't said it yet. We are grateful that we are here in our home with a roof above us, that we're safe. We know that it's a luxury to be able to do this, but because of what I do for a living and my world and my tribe, so many people are out of work.
Yeah.
So and I know you're not able to travel to New York. I'm sure that industry is completely shut down for now.
Yeah, everything.
Even just
I
today.
constantly say I'm thankful that I'm healthy. My family is healthy. We have a roof over our head. We have more food than we could possibly need. Incredibly thankful.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer I can't do what I love and be around those people, but again, navigating the time and keeping spirits up.
So that leads me to, what are some of the things that you have been doing? Because I know you and I, so this is an interesting thing for the people watching, my friends watching. Becky and I directed a camp last year in San Diego, fantastic camp, focusing on the music of the Greatest Showman. We had a great time, and we had every intention of doing it again. And it was early this spring, a couple weeks before things started really shutting down, that we talked about it, and we just didn't feel
So
like
weird.
it was so weird. And we just kind of said we just weren't thinking it was going to fly this summer. There were a lot of indicators that this might not be a good time, and wow, were we right. But you have been doing some really creative things to power through. So tell my friends what you're doing. Tell them a little bit about what you got going on.
So, you guys, it's possible, and I think artists are the luckiest people right now, because yes, we can be home and safe and healthy with our family and with our friends, and we can use our creativity to keep going and make everybody happy. So what we've been doing is, or I've been doing, some theater game classes online, just with kids that I know locally, and that's grown, and so now some of the local kids have found other kids, including Skylar, and we all Zoom together for a quick 30 minutes. We play theater games, do some improv, interaction, dancing, and it's 30 minutes that takes us away from what we're normally doing and brings us back to that creative world. And I have a teenage improv class that I'm doing, and then decided, since we can't do our summer camp program, I'm going to do my own locally, and it's 2 one-week sessions, each with a theme, 30 minutes a day, and it's a drop-in, because I know, at least for me as a mom, day-to-day can be really difficult, or very different. And you don't know, all of a sudden I might have a meeting, and so I can't help my child Zoom, or help them find a prop or something they need. So it's really just figuring it out and understanding that we are all in this together. It can be really challenging. So I've planned a couple camps, and we'll see how it goes, but it's really fun to connect with kids and play theater games and adapt them.
Yeah, so 2 things about that. One is Skylar did it last week for her first one with you. I don't know what was going on, but she was giggling the whole time. She had the time of her life. I asked her, she had a blast. And also, to be fair, it's a nice break for the parents. I mean, anytime a visitor comes, there's a Zoom class, there's something. Once you get the technology portion taken care of, it's really nice as a parent to let your child have time with another adult, and other kids. And that was really great. It's a Zoom class, so it's a lot of other kids in the class. So I'm glad you're able to do that, and it's challenging. I mean, so many of my friends are just trying this for the first time, and we know, I mean, theater is so interactive in your space. Literally,
and then all of a sudden the screen freezes.
Yeah, and
we're playing a game. Where did Randy go?
Yeah, no.
Randy?
But I know you. I mean, you can move mountains. You can do anything. So you just figure it out, right? And so tell me a little bit too about, and you also pay it forward. That's another thing I love about Miss Becky is that you know, right from the beginning, she does things to empower others, to highlight others. I know any chance you get, you try to showcase what people are doing, the good that they're doing, the heroes that they're doing. I see it on your Facebook all the time, and I know you've been even doing some of that. Yes. So do you find?
Yeah, just trying to teach my kids. We're stuck at home, which is again something we're lucky to be, and showing them that even though we're home, we can't go somewhere and do a mitzvah or a good deed. We can still help others. Right. So we're painting rocks and putting good messages on our front lawn and using chalk. And
I saw that. I know, but that's a great, and I like to mention those things too, because I've heard from guests, people say things that I just didn't think of. Like in our little neighborhood early on, someone came up with the idea of little positive signs in your window, right?
Yeah, that's what we have.
So simple. Didn't
we
think
also
of
have
it.
a vegetable setup, like take a lemon, take a fig, put it on your little.
I love that. Okay, take a lemon, people. Hashtag take a lemon. You heard it here first. No, but I mean it. These are great ideas, and if I didn't have people on talking about this, I wouldn't think about this. I would love an avocado, actually. California.
We would take an avocado.
Skylar would take 10. So, okay, so then, and also, how about the kids? So we know your beautiful kids from performing on the show during the kids show, from their little fun, happy Mother's Day message that they gave you.
Thank you.
How are they? You're welcome. How are they handling this time, and what are they
They're
doing
good.
creatively?
I mean, like right now, for example, one of them is having a bar mitzvah tutoring session, while the other one is getting ready for a ballet Zoom class.
Love
And
it.
then one will walk the dog, and then I'll set somebody up on another Zoom thing. And if they don't, they don't have a lot of school, which I appreciate the way they've set it up, but they're doing well. They're balancing it with having a reason to wake up in the morning, and that's school, even if it's only an hour and a half, it gives them a purpose. And then they have one of their fun extracurricular activities. We have set times for walking the dog. We have hours outside of bike riding and walking, and lots of art. And if anybody's ever bored, let's think of something we can do that's art. Drawing, painting, collecting. So thankfully, I mean, it's tough. There are times, but they're doing pretty great.
That's awesome to hear. That's
Yeah.
so great. Well, will you put links in the comments below so that people can find out about the camps, find out about when, because...
Oh, my book.
Oh, the book? Yes, okay, so
Really quickly.
about the first, the links, because what I want to say too that's important is that these Zoom links, I mean, so Becky, for those of you that may have just come on the show, Becky's in California. Skylar is in Nashville, but we are able to do this class that she has, this acting class virtually, which is kind of a neat thing. Who would have thought that people in other states,
Kids from everywhere.
right, so definitely put the links in for that, because if any of my mom friends here in Nashville want to have their kiddos do your class, it was really fun. It was 30 minutes. The kids were giggling, having a great time. So let's make sure that we get, because you might get a whole bunch of Nashville people on there, and it's super fun.
That'd be awesome.
It's a
Nashville
great
is
time.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so now tell us about the book, because this is another really cool thing you're doing. I just saw on your Insta. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Okay, so for years, I have been a Broadway fan. I grew up doing theater, etc. We lived in New York for a few years, and while Noah was in Matilda, I became a member of the Guardian Union, Local 764, and worked backstage with kids in Broadway shows. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to take these stories of adults or kids who have been on Broadway as a child and put them in a book?
Yes.
So my friend and Broadway Guardian Lauren Hirsch and I are writing a book called Broadway Kids, The Untold Stories. We just announced it yesterday, and we are collecting stories. We already have 62.
Wow.
It's going to be really hard to connect with everybody. So if you know anybody who was an adult who was on Broadway, we really want to get those people. What was it like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s?
Okay.
Send us your story. It'll be easy on your end, and then we'll have all of these stories in a book. I just think it would be
It's a great
amazing.
idea. It's a great idea. And
So
isn't
I'm
that-
at Broadway Kids, The Untold Stories.
okay, you have to post that too below. She's going to put that right down there so you can see it. And that's the great thing too, is that this time has allowed us to sort of dive into those projects that we always wanted to do. And now we're like, oh, we're just going to do it right now because we can actually make time to do it. It's a great idea. And I actually do. I'm going to message you. I've got 3 people in mind that I think would be
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
I have a question for Skylar. Is she there?
Skylar is here. She's luckily over the hiccups. Miss Becky has a question for you.
Okay, it's a very simple question. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Vanilla.
Okay, I have another question. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Cat. That was fast. Cats. Okay.
Okay, last one. Beach or swimming pool?
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
There it is. I love that. Miss Becky has just... Okay, so now I have questions for you. Here we go. So my 3 questions that I do for everyone. So what has been the hardest part of this time of social isolation for Miss Becky? What's been the hardest part?
The hardest part has been seeing my kids not being able to be around their peers.
Yep.
It's been hard for me, but watching them not be able to socialize and just let out their silly ridiculousness in their age with their peers is really sad.
Yep. Hard to see. Yep. Okay, so then we like to flip it upside down. What has been the best part of this time of social isolation? Sort of the silver lining for you.
The silver lining for sure has been connecting internally with the family and with our neighborhood. Sharing little things like recipes or just a hello. Our neighborhood meets outside at 7 o'clock every night still. Whether it's 8 or 2 of us, and we just say hi every night. We really are getting to know people that live in our little block
Love that.
in a way we never would have.
I love that. Okay, and last one, you can take it as serious, as light as you want. What now, into how many weeks we've been at it, what have you learned? What would you say you have learned from this time?
I have learned patience is a virtue. Look for the silver lining, because that's going to save your mental and physical soul.
Yes.
And to persevere.
Yes.
Never give up.
I love it. I love it, and that's why we love Miss Becky. Well, it's so good to see you. Thanks for hopping on tonight and sharing all of the fun things that you're doing. Make sure you post everything so that everyone can hop on those classes and have fun with you. She's so much fun. And I mean, I know that it's fun for you too, but this is also a difficult time, and so I appreciate your energy and trying to really push forward and give the kiddos a little bit of art, a little bit of fun, and a little bit of community. That means the world to me. So, and I cannot wait until we get to do our thing in person, running around like crazy people again, okay? I cannot wait for
All right,
that.
tomorrow
Yes.
at 1 o'clock
Yes.
Pacific Standard Time,
There it is.
7 to 10-year-old
Active class.
kids.
Woo! Okay, you heard it here. Have a great night, and
Thank you for having me.
hug your family for me. You know how much I love them. Big hugs.
Thank you, Randy.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
That's my friend Bex. She's a good person with a big heart, very talented. Children are incredibly talented, has an interesting connection to the Broadway community through her work with young children cast, and then her son being on Broadway, and then we work together educating and directing, and I'm glad that she could talk a little bit about what she's doing, because people are just finding new ways. We're just finding new ways. It's crazy. It's nuts. And, I know this is a crazy time. My dear friends in California are having an entirely different experience than our dear friends in New York are having. And here in Nashville, we're having our own different experience. And everyone's just trying to power through. And we try really hard to express that whatever you're going through, we understand that it's different. It's not the same for all of us. There are businesses and states opening up, and we hope that everyone's being really safe. And we know that it's a really hard, scary time for a lot of our people. And we feel you. So thanks for checking in with us every night. It makes us feel good. I'll be totally honest, I was super tired the past 2 days. The weather's kind of blah. Wasn't feeling that great. Have a lot of allergy stuff. Who cares, right? But I do have some allergy stuff happening. It just happens in Nashville a lot. And doing these absolutely makes me feel better. It really does. And I know what that is. It's the fact that I get to check in with people and hear what they're doing, and that motivates me, and it makes me feel just connection, community. It just makes me feel a little bit better. So I really appreciate you letting us have this time. And I appreciate my family so much. Appreciate you, and I promise we're gonna get you some dinner soon, because that's exactly what we do. We run downstairs and we get our girls some dinner. I don't know what's for dinner. It's gonna be something really good. Whatever you're cooking. Come here and let's say goodnight to our friends. Tell them that we love them. Thanks for checking in with us. Remember that your vibe attracts your tribe, and we love our tribe. Yes, we do. We love you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Women We Love Wednesday. Lots of great things happening. Fun week planned for you until we taper off and don't do these anymore. Thanks for checking in. Have a great night.
Bye. Bye.